everybody. Welcome to Wingman's Hangar. Did you enjoy that cup of coffee there, Rob?
That was awesome.
It was awesome. Yep. This is episode 88. How do you say 88 in Spanish? Like
88.
88. And for those of you who are in other languages, you can fill in the blanks there too. This is a little bit about Descent Underground. It's what we do every week as we reboot the franchise Descent from the 90s, a popular 6 Degree of Freedom game. We're making Descent Underground, and we're bringing you up to speed on what we're doing while we're doing it. Small team, lots of fun with your input. I'm Eric Wingman Peterson.
I was wondering if we were going to get to that.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, whatever. I'm Rob, allergy face / design eponymous Irving.
Allergy faces. Cedar is really bad this time of year, so
not happy.
Rob is congested.
Insane in the membrane.
You know, he's got the membrane. Yeah, do you like that?
That was spontaneous.
No. Big thanks to all you guys who've joined us, who are new to the show, who are new to the game. You know, it's been on sale on Steam, and we're on GOG now too. So welcome to the community. If you have input, we really appreciate your input. We're making this game together. We're trying something different with this process. We're doing a community-based game development, and sometimes that's great. Sometimes that's a positive contribution, and yeah, not usually. It's not negative. Usually the negative part is us getting something wrong and then having to.
Sometimes we get it wrong multiple times.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's what balance is about. That's the fun part, though, because then you guys actually see our mistakes. Isn't that fun?
Yay! Wait a minute.
Like the latest Afterburner. Like the Afterburner. It was way too overpowered this time, but
It's yeah.
wait. Oh, that's a
Negative contribution.
And you know, lots more of you guys have joined us from Steam. So thank you guys. GOG, Steam, our website, everything. Very, very appreciative that you're here and supporting us.
Come on in. The water's fine.
Yep, the water is fine.
But
So
bring your allergy meds.
yeah, insane in the membranes. The week in review, we have we're working on the Proving Grounds. Hopefully by this time, a new build has moved its way to the Proving Grounds. So the Proving Grounds is a subscription-based service that people get to help us test. New maps, gray box levels, all the balance stuff goes through there first. Because with a team of 8 people-ish, 6 to 10 or so, depending on what day it is, we don't always, you know, hey, this is great, and then it goes to a wider audience, and hey, this really sucks, and so that's our kind of our buffer. And they've actually found quite a few things for us before we were able to go to take them to the general audience. I mean, being a live product is somewhat challenging, but it's
somewhat.
It is somewhat. We have Dead Morose by Gosnick, which is going to be Proving Grounds in this build. That's a new map.
Shiny.
It is really cool looking. I mean, it's a lot different than the other maps, especially in the lighting way, in the way it's lit. So that's kind of cool. And because of that, we're testing some visibility changes. We've taken the emissive textures off our ships.
Well, we've turned off the emission.
Well, we
haven't taken them off.
Yeah,
they look
fair enough.
really naked without textures.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that'd be cool. Naked ships, except you couldn't see them. So those are no longer on. We've done some tests with that, and we found it didn't have any problem seeing each other, did we? And so we're gonna put that out to Proving Grounds and see what you guys think. Small loader bot, which is looking really cool.
He's so adorable.
He is cute, but we're gonna put that. We're gonna change there's mouth little bits there to well, just look for some cool little lava bits there. You know, rather than me talking about it or Rob talking about it, why don't we just show you what it is in Studio Snapshot? Cool. So that's always fun to see what they're up to. Our artists are overseas in Finland and Germany, so we like seeing that too. And you guys will be playing, especially the map that you saw there. We'll be playing that in Proving Grounds, and then it'll be in Proving Grounds a couple days to a week, and assuming everything goes well, then we'll move it to because we've got to get rid of the snowman and the snowflakes and the snowballs and the sweaters and all that stuff.
I'm gonna miss the sweaters.
Yeah, and we're getting rid of the video too, the thank you video, which is the beginning because it's a holiday video. We're gonna toy with the idea of putting like a small, this is what we're up to, what you can expect the next build. We want to reserve the video spot for something short, but allows us to tell people that are not watching the show. And good Lord, nobody should not be watching the show. It allows us to speak directly.
What are you
to
thinking if you're out there not watching right now?
Right. What else did we do this week? Well, quad lasers got swole. We moved them into bigger so they look more quaddy.
That's not a word.
Quattro. Was it Quadro? What was that? What was the guy's name in Total Recall? Quado. See? Quado, I was right. Laser bolts are changed. I believe InSpade's had an idea of, can we change laser bolts to more of a mesh so that you have a little more, and so we've done that. These are all things that are in Proving Grounds.
We're trying them all out.
We're trying it out. More single player. We're working like Hades on the single player. We've got, I think it's 5 specific mission types in the single player. You're going to recognize a lot of this reactor-wise and stuff from the original, but it's going to be a little different. It's not blowing the reactor up is going to take a little more. It's going to more of a challenge for you than the original. Tech tree retooling. We are going through the tech tree, or you actually are going through the tech tree, and figuring out. Yep, and some things we're cutting because when you sit down and write the game design on paper, when we first started this process, and then you get the game in and you're playing it, and you're like, huh.
That's not going to work at all.
That's not going to be fun.
That was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It always looks really neat
terrible.
on paper.
Yeah.
It's on paper is on paper. It does the playing the game changes.
Yeah.
Everything.
So exactly. Some things get added, some things get taken out. So we're reviewing the tech tree, and so a lot of these things you've seen now in the game will be assigned to tech trees. Will be leveled up: turrets, shields, sentinels, scramblers. All these kind of things will be getting things that you see working will now start to get a little differentiation. Auto map R&D. I know auto map's been asked for a lot.
And he's banging his head against that wall. But
Yeah.
we threw a pixely at it.
We threw a pixely at it.
Totally effective.
Yes. And every time we have a big issue, we throw a pixely at it.
There's a pixely at it. It's a good weapon.
It is. And he's gonna come up with a way of us to do auto tooling, and that's gonna be important for use in some of the weapons. I mean, like the radar thing could give you a little bit of a real time look, and your auto map is what's going on. So there's all kinds of cool stuff coming for that, and that should be, as soon as he figures it out, to be coming soon to a PC screen near you. Now let's take a look at our GOG review of the week. So here we have our first GOG review of the week from AllGamer. I've actually known AllGamer for a long time. He's a big fan of Conquest Frontier Wars, which we have a little information on later on. He says, great game, still under development. I got it from the Kickstarter campaign. Everything is looking better and better. This game is for people who want to have a good pew-pew. It will turn into a great esports title, as this version of Ascent supports team play, mining resources, while others in the same team protect the miners. That's true. Thank you very much, AllGamer. That's this week's GOG review of the week. It's always good. Now we have GOG reviews to go along with Steam. That's pretty neat. So, hey, guess what time it is? Mike. Guess what time it is?
It's time for
Hump Day! Yeah!
Forum Feedback.
Welcome to Most Valid. Yeah.
No.
Just making a positive contribution to this recording.
Yay!
All right. Welcome to Forum Feedback.
That's
Forum Feedback.
Our first question this week from Patrick Labuda on GOG.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Does this version have an auto map feature? And if so, does it look more like the one from Descent 1 and 2 or the one from Descent 3?
So, first answer is not yet. Second one is take it away, Pixley.
Alrighty.
Sure.
So, it will look more like the one from Descents 1 and 2. I happen to agree that the one from Descent 3 is borderline unusable. Actually had to look into that when that question was asked because I'd never actually bothered to use D3's automap before, and it's terrible. Personally, I'm drawing inspiration from, of course, D1 and 2, and then also games like Metroid Prime and Sublevel Zero. Those also have really good 3D mini-maps.
Cool.
So when it's implemented, that's what it will look like.
We are throwing a pixely at it.
Yep. We're
Ow.
throwing a Pixley at it.
Alrighty. Our next question from Fluffball, one of our undergrounders. Will we get to see a work in progress concept of the tech tree?
Work in progress concept.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of
the tech tree.
So
Timing on that question.
I know the timing of that question is funny because that's actually what we're working on right now. We're moving some stuff around, and as you go through and balance these kind of things, well, Rob, you could tell him.
It's one of those things that it was written down on paper long ago, and at the time seemed somewhat reasonable, but we didn't have the big picture completely in place yet for a lot of stuff. So, as I was saying in our scrum, it just felt like looking at it now, it's like this was written for almost a different game.
Way
But-
too complex.
Yeah,
Way
it's
too
a little
complex.
too complex. It's a little
Yep.
too disjointed in some ways, and so it's getting a revamp as we speak. And we'll be, well,
And
maybe
we can tell
meeting
people what it
ideas.
is. Yeah, we could show them what we're going to be doing with it.
Yeah.
I mean, once we're actually going through because we're working on single player now. We're going through what things we attach into the missions for upgrades. What things are going to be upgradable. What does that mean for your tech tree?
That's what led to
And,
this.
we're doing that exactly right now. In fact, so I think we can let the undergrounders in on that. You guys are going to be the ones testing the damn thing. So
Maybe a good topic for next week's design meeting, even.
I think that's a great topic for. Let's just switch the other one out and use that one. Yeah.
that's
okay.
a good point. Yeah. So next week we're looking
Next
at
Wednesday's Design Underground will be about the technology tree.
check your forum for the details.
Or as Donald Trump would say, I know enough about the cyber. The cyber.
Mute. Where's the mute button?
We're looking for the eject button.
I don't know what that means.
All right. Our next question from Sly Solid. Would it be possible to make the afterburner easier to control? Once I take my finger off the button, it should stop.
Tyler, you want to talk about what we just talked about this morning, which we're implementing for the next update?
This
Well-
one's really timely.
Oh, okay. So, what's changing for the next update is that we are going to reduce the acceleration on the afterburner a bit. Not back down to where it was. It'll still feel really punchy. But also, we're going to decrease the amount of time you commit to a tick of afterburn from 1 second to about half a second.
Right.
So you still have to commit to using afterburner. That was kind of the idea behind the system is, if you want to use afterburner, you have to commit to using it, not just kind of tap it or whatever. Like if you're using it, you got to commit to it. But we are going to be lessening that committance.
It won't feel quite so out of control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. You won't be bumping into walls as much. And that, again, this is some of the feedback where you guys are, you guys in your comments are actually helping us balance the game. That's thank you guys very much. That's exactly what we need you for.
Absolutely. All right. Our next question from DEFCON X, one of our undergrounders. Did anyone else sneak away from the holiday activities to get a round of anarchy in?
Yes.
Yeah, Kaji got several.
I was going to say, Kaji was streaming.
Well, I jumped in with Kaji. I was streaming I got in there with him, played. So yes, for sure.
Yeah, I think we all got a little bit of action.
Not
But
me.
to be honest,
No?
it's good to take a break
Yeah.
when you're head
I was
down.
trapped in family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family's
Especially
Rob, if you're in family, you're definitely playing Anarchy.
It's a different style of anarchy entirely.
Yeah.
And it's not even team Anarchy there. It's
Oh, no, it's
Anarchy.
not.
Yeah, I was at my folks' place in Tucson where the most powerful computer is a laptop, which can run the game, but it's not great, and there was plenty else to do.
True that.
He was recharging his mind to get around the auto mapping.
Indeed.
Mm. What is the deal with that? Like, because I know we were trying to solve that with the meshes originally, but I guess that you found a different way.
I'm still R&Ding that. I'm actually tackling some other stuff before I tackle that one because that's like the big thing, and I want to make sure everything else is workable and possible first before I'm like, okay, now we commit to this big giant thing that's going to take forever. my current thinking involves basically determining points at a certain interval throughout the entire internal space of a level, and determining how those connect, which ones are against walls and stuff.
Cool.
And then simplifying that from there, because obviously you don't need 300 points to describe a flat wall that extends for a long ways. You just need 4. So a lot of the issue is simplifying those vertices to where you maintain what you're looking for, but don't ruin everything.
So
that's in lots and lots of mathematics. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Another question from In Spades. Could the laser bolts be changed from sprites to simple models to make them easier to see?
As of this recording, that's actually what I'm doing today.
They asked a lot of timely questions.
Yeah,
I
these
think.
questions
Yeah, how did this happen? Again, we got back and read the feedback and thought, yep, that makes sense. We're going to do that, and that's cool. And some things make a lot of sense. Some things don't. Some things like for instance, we're talking about this. We don't want uniform hitboxes because we want the ships to be different. We don't want you to just attack from forward facing. We want some ships to where you want to come from the top or the bottom or the side. I mean, we want a variety of gameplay. So, but some things make sense, like bigger hitboxes or bigger laser bolts, bigger, making them meshes. So yes, that's fun. So some things get in, some things we go, nope, that won't work. But yep.
Cool. All right. And our last question this week from Raptor, one of our undergrounders. Will non-drone bots, like those spider things we've been seeing, appear in co-op versus AI in survival, or will they be reserved for the campaign only?
Well, they're not going to appear in the current survival iteration, but I mean, imagine as we go through and revamp other survivals and stuff, we'll take advantage of all this stuff. But one of the things you need to have in single player is unique elements, things that make people want to play single player. And some of these bots are going to be really cool and unique to the levels we're building. And as such, I would think maybe even versus bots might just become like the shooting gallery, just kind of a fun thing to do.
It's good practice. It's really good for people who are trying to learn how to control the ship and have something to shoot at.
Right. It's really not developed to be lasting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we chop it at some point because single player will be, taking over that, but we may leave it in. I don't know.
I don't think it hurts.
Well, it's good for learning the maps too in multiplayer.
That is true. That is true.
Too.
So it's
combat feel.
For now, like we're gonna have bosses. We'll have the different bots and stuff. It'll be mostly single player. I don't think you'll expect to see the hunter bots, the gathering bots. Although at some point we probably will go back through survival and add them in as like bits and pieces here and there, as like just things that are going on in the map while you're playing. So, but not right now. Single player is where I would look for those next. Except Incendious is in both.
Oh, that's a good point. A bot designed by our community. What are you casting spells over there?
No, Rob was doing it, so
That's
I'm
what
doing it.
Eric was doing, so I'm doing it.
Rob is doing it.
What?
Aloha Mora. Yeah. Okay.
I need a pencil.
Actually, to be fair, it is a Star Citizen pin.
Oh.
Shameless plug.
That's okay.
Oh, mine's not.
All right. All right, that's our questions for this week. So
Good questions, and keep the comments coming in. I mean, you guys are really, really getting to the point where you're helping us balance the game out. The afterburner, we made changes, the meshes on the laser bolts, we're still, I don't think we're in the pocket, so to speak, on multiplayer. We're close in some regards and far away in others. So the more we hone the thing, the better it'll be. We are mostly focused right now on single player. I'd say 85%, but that doesn't mean we're not constantly going through and making small changes here and there. But we do need people to test and play it and get some long-term feedback rather than, just I don't like it because it's not like this or not like that. I mean, we want to know why. What are you thinking? Why are you viewing it this way? Because maybe what you're thinking in your head is different than it's like a poker game, for instance. We know where we want to go overall, so we have all the little bells and whistles that we know we want to get to. I'm doing it again, Rob.
I noticed. I'm not duplicating it.
And so, like for instance, right now, like all the specials are in, but they're not all leveled up or they're not all upgraded yet. I mean, there'll be different things going on. We'll be, getting back to that tech tree thing. And so, even though multiplayer is still relatively squished into this like flat line of play, and it will start to expand out where some ships will be taking XY grid, some ships will be very powerful offense but really crappy defense. Some will be over here, and you're not always going to have it to where 1v1 each ship is equal to another ship. It's just not going to be that way. So you'll start to see changes like in the Predator. I don't believe you can go to quad lasers, right, Rob? There are some changes happening that will be expanding out that gameplay layer. And that's we're just now getting into the balance section. So
Yeah, that
all that
more hands.
handsy.
Sorry. Alrighty, back to you guys.
That's always fun to do the forum feedbacks like that. It's a good time. It's more interesting when you hear from the people that are working on this stuff.
It's interactive, and the questions were so timely.
Oh my God, the questions!
Perfect timing.
The questions were really, and that kind of gives you an idea of how you guys are actually affecting and making the game better.
Those guys.
You guys.
Those guys affecting those guys.
Those guys are
doing
affecting
stuff for those guys.
somewhere on in the multiverse. Ooh. So you guys are helping us make the game better, and for that we truly appreciate that. So good answers, good questions. You got more of them? Put them up on our forums. We really love to get those questions out there and get them answered. It's important for us to let you guys know what's going on. Every now and then we get the guy or girl who comes in and goes, "Oh, you guys are not working on it." We're like, "What are you talking about? Watch forum feedback or watch whatever," and then they shut up. So not always.
Well, if they watch this, they might.
Yeah, right. Not always. All right, so hey, guess what time it is? It's time for this week's Most Valuable Post.
Welcome to Most Valuable Post, where we recognize a member of our community for making a positive contribution to Descent Underground. This week, we honor somebody who, they came up with a neat idea for the Warlock and its hacking abilities, where it could maybe do something with energy zones. Don't know if it'll make in the game, but it sure was cool. So congratulations, Doglman. You made this week's Most Valuable Post.
Congrats to
Doglman?
Doglman.
Do you think it's Doglman?
I think it's Doglman or Doglman.
I'm going with that.
Yep, for sure. Well, thank you for this week's Most Valuable Post.
And
That's pretty cool.
It's a great idea. It's of course at this point in the game, new things in game as far as the multiplayer actual game mechanics may not get in this time, but maybe the next time.
And that brings up a point. Yeah, that brings up a point. We have actually a very long plan for this universe. We have like a 7-year plan for where we want to take Descent Underground, from where we are now to avatars and housing with the harvesters, but none of that stuff's going to be into phase 1. We're going to use the revenue we make from phase 1 to continue to make the bigger phases. So that's why it's important that we spread the word to other people. So a lot of ideas we have like what we're doing, and then we have the wish list of what we want to do, and then some of this stuff we have phase 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have obviously little bits and pieces of DLC in between them all to where we'll continue to upgrade the live product so it never sits stale either. And you guys are helping with that too, with maps. And we'll have, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Just a second. You guys will be giving us some maps, which will help keep it fresh. I mean, there's a lot of maps. I think there's like 20 maps right now that are out there, and
we have a pile
of maps, and we're going to release a new map kit, which will give you more closer to finished project pieces that will help get it further along, so it won't take as long for us to take one and make it beautiful and put it in. So that's all coming. There's a lot of cool stuff coming on the horizon, and not very far away. I mean, we're just months away from finishing the single player, which is pretty dang cool, and that's going to kind of be get out of early access. So a lot of fun stuff happening, and glad you guys are along for the ride. Okay. Ugliest sweater.
Are your hiccups gone?
Yeah, I don't know. Ugliest sweater contest went on for Christmas.
It really wasn't much of a contest.
It really wasn't. No, it wasn't. Here we had up on the forums. We had you guys voting on the ugliest sweater. In third place, the Yule Elf, the Shaman. Yay!
Hooray!
And there was much rejoicing. Second place, Gift Trap by Goliath.
Hooray!
Yay! And continued rejoicing.
Continued
joicing.
Joicing.
Joicing is totally cooler than rejoicing. And in first place, with
In a
50%, with a
whopping landslide.
massive 50%, which is more than Donald Trump got, Santa Claus Panza. Yay! And there was much rejoicing.
This would be a good point to insert a joke about the beatdown the Patriots are going to give the Texans this week.
No,
I
it's
think.
not a good time to. I do agree with you, though.
It's
and
not going to be pretty.
that sucks. I'm a big
We're
Texan
really
fan,
sorry,
so
Texans fans, but it's just facts.
we'll see. So you say there's a chance.
It's why they play the games.
We haven't decided yet, but we may bring some of these back for the future. Some of the ugly
Torch
sweaters.
looked really cool.
I actually liked them a lot. To be honest with you, I liked the ghost stuff we had in Halloween. So these are kind of the paint jobs and textures and stuff you're going to be getting as you want to change and customize your ship. This is kind of the first step. We'll eventually have wings, noses, tails, which you can make the things look even more unique. It's a totally different thing. We just have to do the geometry for it.
This is like what you were doing in forum feedback, too.
I know, it's a
lot of hand talking.
It's a new thing. I'm a hand talker.
But hand jive?
Speak. Hand jive. By the way, in case you didn't know, in case anybody didn't know, Conquest Frontier Wars is a game that some of us worked on back in the day. We have put it up on Steam. We've signed a deal with Fever Pitch Studios, which is convenient because I sort of own Fever Pitch Studios and own a lot of Descent. So we're going to be selling Conquest Frontier Wars on Steam. So there's a lot of people that have wanted the RTS back in the thing. So we put it up there. Should be going on sale pretty quick. It's only like $5, less 40%. So I think it'll be like $2.50 or something to get. If you want to support it, we're going to use the revenue we get from that to basically help make Descent. I mean, more money, more stuff in the game. So we thought, hey, we got this really cool IP. Let's get it up there. We have another one called Hit and Myth, which I'd like to get out at some point. Mike, you'd like to see Hit and Myth out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that was a fun game.
That was a fun game. But that would be more of a mobile product. But I think
How are we going to find any Gizmondos?
we don't need them on that. We put them on the iPhone or we put it on the Android.
Cool.
I know.
I have a Gizmondo or two.
So we've got it up on Steam Conquest. Be sure to check it out in the next week or so. It'll be on sale. We'll announce it. And if you guys want to go get a copy, it's a really fun real-time strategy game. It's in space. You fight on up to 16 maps. There's 3 races. You have it's really, really deep. You've got choke points, resources. You've got supply lines. It's a fun game. You got admirals. Check it out.
By Grab Thor's Hammer, what say?
By Grab Thor's Hammer. Grab Thor's Hammer. That's awesome. Never give up. Never surrender. So we feel like the Big Bang up here sometimes with some of our references, Anyway, so if you want to become an agent of the underground, these are people that are streaming our game, that are helping us spread the word. That is the most important thing you guys can do besides giving us feedback is help us spread the word, because a lot of times people go, oh my God, I didn't know this existed. Because we are not marketers. We are game developers. And so help us spread the word. These are the agents of the underground. Thank you guys for helping us out. Keep streaming it. Keep showing the game. If you are somebody who streams and you want us to help you, hook us up, send an email in the forums or whatever. We'll give you some stuff to help you grow your channel and help us grow the audience. So thank you very much. Coming up at Descendant Studios, production release with Dead Morose and Ugly Sweaters.
Again with the crossed fingers.
Yeah,
We're moving towards it.
Right. We're
sometimes.
still working on single player, lots and lots of single player, building maps and stuff now. And, of course, Tyler is still in auto mapping hell. So
that may last a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's
see.
one of those. Pixley's funny. He's like, oh, it's going to take forever. And then he sleeps overnight and dreams about it. And next day he's got some weird solution that just boop, works.
Genius.
I know. He's amazing that way.
The boy genius, Tyler Pixley.
Yeah, we throw Pixleys at everything. Throw a Pixley! 3 Pixleys in one show. He's going to love that.
We're not overusing that bit at all.
No. Throw a Pixley! Okay, That's fine.
Nay.
Yeah, no more Pixelies. Thanks to our Underground members for helping us. You guys are the first line of defense for us not putting bugs out in the real world.
Making the game better.
Yeah, thanks to everybody else who is helping us spread the word and is playing the game. Get in there, have some fun. Corporate War is really good. Minor Mayhem's really good. The whole game's really fun to play.
Coming up right after the show, in fact.
Yeah, in fact, right. In about 5 minutes. Well, not even 5 minutes. In a few minutes, you're going to be dev play. Join us in there. Let's play the game. Let's have some fun. Hopefully, it won't be. It'll still be ugly sweaters.
It will still be ugly
sweaters.
But
we'll be playing some Minor Mayhem. We'll be playing some Anarchy. Whatever you guys want. You let us know. We'll be playing it. And next week, hopefully, we'll be playing a new map.
hopefully.
Yep. So where are we going to see him? Underground.